What? I thought John Roberts told me racism was over.
What?
Cliven Bundy said what now about the Negro? Donald Trump said what now about how the president walks off Air Force One? Wait. First of all, if it just led to that picture of Donald Trump, that is all we needed. That's presidential. Him getting off Air Force One in the wind.
And if you're wondering what picture she's holding up, you can see us at StephanieMiller.com on the live stream.
Wow. I don't think they intended that.
Wow. Here's racial progress, Justice Roberts. Cliven Bundy, when he spoke of the Negro, Jim, he did not mean President Obama. He just meant
in general.
Yes.
The Negro-ish.
The Negro writ large.
Ish sort of.
Negro oeuvre.
Problem.
Negreve.
Yes. Negreve.
Wow. Thank you for proving my point entirely. Supreme Court edition.
Neato.
I'm not a racist, but...
Thank you, Sonia Sotomayor. No, racism has not been wished into the cornfield. But thanks for... Would you like to... I don't even know what music I need for this before. I just have to... we have to cover
And he's
this.
an employer. So conceivably, he could be...
discriminating.
Exactly.
Interesting, and not in a good way.
Well, not if they can pick cotton, according to him.
Oh, my God.
I was a little bit winded by this.
Yeah.
I don't even know what music I need for this. Let's just...
The ghost of Nathan Bedford Forrest is smiling somewhere.
Boy. Even some Republicans are backing moonwalking slowly away.
Yes. I wonder if Hannity's going to moonwalk slowly away.
From Cliven Bundy.
Because Hannity's been his biggest cheerleader.
Nevada rancher.
Sounds like a winery. Cliven Bundy.
Cliven Bundy. Sounds like something like crossword.
Or a comedy team from the 1890s.
Sounds like a wine with too many tannins.
It's like a Fox sitcom, like, I don't know.
Now, the comedic stylings of Cliven Bundy.
Crossed with Ted Bundy. I don't know. All right. He is the Moochie rancher.
Yep.
Who's
law-breaking rancher.
Moochie socialist cows have been sucking off the government teat now for many years. He was quoted in the New York Times giving his impressions of the Negro.
You mean he was doing like Sammy Davis Jr. impressions?
No, he wasn't doing impressions.
Okay.
No. And he didn't say, I think it would go a little something.
We like this.
Ladies and gentlemen, Jimmy Carter.
Oh, boy. Nothing good comes after this first sentence. I want to tell you one more thing I know about the Negro.
Yeah.
Which one?
Everything about the Negro.
Writ large, just not one. Gee, I hope the Negro calls in today to tell us if any of this is accurate.
Yeah, I thought I came up with the idea, why the word Negro fell out of fashion. It's the way LBJ pronounced it.
Right.
But,
Yes.
Lenny Bruce beat me to it.
Okay. Mr. Bundy recalled driving past a public housing project in North Las Vegas. I'm guessing this is going to have something to do with mooching off the government. He wouldn't know anything about that.
Wow.
And in front of that government house, the door was usually open to the older people and the kids, and there's always at least a half a dozen people sitting on the porch. Oh, dear. They didn't have nothing to do. They didn't have nothing for their kids to do. They didn't have nothing for their young girls to do.
They got no grammar neither.
Wow, and because I guess they didn't get no book learning like you.
Well, that comes from a government school, you see.
Right, and because they were basically on government subsidy. Oh, no, he didn't.
Wow.
So now what do? They abort their young children. They put their young men in jail because they never learned how to pick cotton.
What the hell?
Eek. And I've often wondered, are they better off as slaves? Picking cotton and having a family life and doing things. Oh, my God. Or are they better off under government subsidy? They didn't get no more freedom. They got less freedom.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
So slavery is more freedom than...
Wow. Okay. Oakley then. Wow. Only one man to talk to now.
Carl.
The appendix free Carl Frisch.
Bullfightstrategies.com. Hello, Carl Frisch.
Stephanie. I believe he was using the Royal Negroes.
Right. Yes, of course.
I see.
Wow.
When Hannity sunk his, dentures into that USDA, those brown hides, those socialist cows, those brown hides that Calvin Bundy's been letting graze on government property.
Right.
I don't think he had any thought that maybe I should fact check this guy and see what kind of dirt is in his closet. Because, this guy's a Looney Tunes.
Yeah. Wowee. I'm not often winded by a statement like I was by that one. I was like, oh, this just keeps getting worse. Oh, no.
But then again, I mean, as Jon Stewart pointed out last night, this is a guy, Sean Hannity, your friend, who called, what the heck's that guy's name? The musician from the NRA.
Ted Nugent.
Yeah,
the musician from the NRA.
Friend after the crazy stuff that he said.
Right.
So I have a feeling if he talks about this guy ever again, because that's Hannity's version of an apology, by the way, is to not talk about something anymore. He won't apologize for it, but he just won't bring it up anymore.
Right.
It'll be like it never happened.
Yeah, exactly.
If he does talk about it again, he'll double down.
By the way, speaking of grammatically challenged, so did you see the Donald Trump tweet?
Yes.
He said the way President Obama runs down the stairs of Air Force One, bobbing, and jumping all the way, he is so inelegant and so unpresidential.
Oh, God. Really?
I guess he meant hopping and bobbing.
Donald Trump knows elegant.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why
he look at that picture of his hair.
His 3 wives.
Yeah.
I wish some gays had been there to spray his hair when it was up like that, so it stayed.
Like Jim Carrey. Yeah. I mean, God. I mean, let's just, let's forget how, just dopey it is. But, I mean, clearly, here we go with more, racial dog whistle, right?
Right. Well, and, it's another example of how President Obama can't win on anything. If he took his time going down the stairs,
then he's shucking and jiving.
He's too cautious. Yeah. He's afraid he's going to fall. And that's a metaphor for our country.
But if he's going too fast, then
David Brooks will talk about his manhood problem in walking down the steps.
But because he's spry and energetic, they're going to attack him for that. As I've said before,
if he took his daughter ice skating like that
on the National Mall over Christmas, they would accuse him of trying to be like Jesus and walking on water.
Right.
There's nothing he can do that will appease these people.
Right. Wowee.
Plus ice is
short
white.
of resignation.
Yeah. By the way, Ted Cruz defended Cliven Bundy yesterday.
Of course he did. Have you met his father? His father is Cliven Bundy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Without the livestock.
Yeah, I mean, but this is the people that they're tying themselves to, right?
Right. I mean, it comes back to the right-wing sensibilities about humor. They don't, the reason that they think Ann Coulter is just hysterical is not because she's throwing out one-liners like Rickles. It's because she rankles the feathers of liberals. And there's nothing they like more. There's nothing they find funnier than liberals whose politically correct sensibilities are muffled. So when a guy like Calvin Bundy comes on the scene and liberals are shocked that this bonkers dude is getting away with what he's getting away with, they love it.
Yeah.
And so it's not surprising that they defend him. It's why they brought the Duck Dynasty people to the State of the Union. It's why they stand up for all this baloney.
Yep, exactly. By the way, homophobic, homophobic and racist, the Duck Dynasty people.
Yes. I was certain.
Go ahead.
I was certain he'd be like a Brokeback rancher.
Does he own a barn coat?
Why do I bring that up?
I don't know how to quit using government land.
I can't quit it. That's right. Carl, the reason I brought that up is because, and this is saying a lot, this is your gayest tweet ever. You said, my favorite part of spring in D.C., tulips everywhere.
That's right.
And daffodils.
I think I've probably said gayer things on Twitter.
Really?
Yeah, I think you have.
Congratulations on that. You also tweeted Righty 501c4 that had tax exemption revoked by IRS is linked to the wife of Clarence Thomas.
Surprise, surprise.
Huh. Seems
this organization that she basically founded teamed up with another organization, and now they've had their tax exempt status revoked for saying electorally themed things against Hillary Clinton. But of course, these are the types of things that Ginny Thomas has been involved in for eons, and we only really discovered it when it became apparent that Clarence Thomas had lied on his financial disclosures.
Yeah, no, exactly. Oh, by the way, this just in. As it turns out, Clarence Thomas, Darrell Issa was wrong about the IRS. So they did you saw that, right? Think Progress got all the actual documents, and absolutely more progressive groups were targeted than Tea Party groups, right?
Right, proving that it's an Obama conspiracy.
But Stephanie, by more, you simply mean that more of them were targeted. So I really don't see how that disproves Issa's point.
Carl, first, by the way, speaking of the kids in Twitterverse, they loved my idea about you doing an ad for the ACA, you running on the ACA in the midterms.
I know. I've gotten lots of emails and tweets and Facebook posts about it.
Right, well, because you just had your appendix removed, Carl Frisch, 100% less appendix.
That's right.
Yeah.
And nearly 100% healed.
And the table of contents is out, too. Yeah.
Evan says hello, by the way.
How are your footnotes? Carl, but anyway, because you are an Obamacare success story. You were never able to get insurance before because of a pre-existing condition.
After I left my full-time employment to become a consultant, I lost my insurance when my COBRA ran out. And by the way, nothing like paying $800 a month for insurance.
Yeah, COBRA is not a deal.
So here's,
you might as well have an actual COBRA.
Yeah.
At that point, I was using leeches for bloodletting.
The anti-venom isn't included in your coverage.
Right. And then, I'd apply for it, but I would be rejected because I had an asthma attack at one point and got to the hospital. So I had a pre-existing condition, and they would reject me. I applied for like 4 or 5 different companies.
It's those damn tulips in D.C., tulips and daffodils.
That's right. And then, all of a sudden, Obamacare goes into effect. Pre-existing conditions are now covered, and I have insurance for the first time in a little over 3 years.
Wow!
It seems that the favorite is for the commercial idea is that they want to shoot you in your hospital gown from behind. You turn around saucily to camera and say, "Kiss my ACA."
So this would be on cable.
I think it would have to be.
But we have a couple of Democratic candidates running on Obamacare, not against it, which is great, right? Like
they should be.
In Kentucky,
there are plenty of things that Democrats could say they want to fix about Obamacare. But what they need to do is stand up and say, this is why we support the Affordable Care Act, why we support Obamacare. It does the following 5 things. And yes, there are probably some things we could do better about it, but my opponent wants to throw the entire thing out, which means kicking 8 million people off of health insurance. It means having pre-existing conditions not covered. It means throwing 26-year-olds off their parents' plans. It means allowing insurance companies to spend more on marketing and promotion than on care, and so on and so on and so on. You know who else is going to do an ad for you? Jackie Schechner, who will join us later on the phone. You know why on the phone? Because she licked Bob Costas' eye, and now she has pink eye. But fortunately, it is covered because of Obamacare. It's covered, but, they're not happy about it. Right. All right. Carl, delightful as always, sir. See you next week. Alrighty, have a good one. There he goes. Yay. There goes Carl Frisch.
Now with 100% less appendix.
No, actually, they just took the tip out. That's all they needed to take out.
Really?
Excuse me?
Yeah. Just the tip.
Normally,
that's
you
a different
operation. Just put it in.
Right?
just Okay, that was dirty. Yeah. 19 minutes after the hour. This hour of the Stephanie Miller Show brought to you by Carbonite. Carbonite. Why? Because I can't say it enough. When you've had a power outage or a virus and you've lost all your stuff in your computer, you will thank me. Then you will go, oh, thank you, Stephanie, and I will get one of those letters. All our computers need Carbonite Online backup. Over 50,000 businesses trust Carbonite to back up all that stuff in their computers. Carbonite is automatic and cloud-based, like many of my dreams. Your files are encrypted and stored securely off-site. Carbonite offers affordable backup for your home computer or your entire business, including your servers. I've had so many people thank me. I have gotten the occasional oh no letter. Don't be one of those. I put it on my list of things to do, and then I flurn. Flurn, of course, being code for. Spilled something on my computer, dropped it, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. Go to Carbonite.com now. Do it. Type in my offer code Stephanie. Free trial, no credit card required. Plus 2 free bonus months with your subscription. That's Carbonite.com. The offer code is Stephanie. 20 minutes after the hour, we have a full rockin' show. Sexy liberal John Fugelsang, Jackie Schechner, Bob Seska. A parade of sexy liberals as we continue on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Swan, swan, hummingbird. We're off.
Why am I having a breakdown? Why am I speaking now? Because Jodie Foster married her girlfriend.
Your girl.
Another dream dies.
Her dream dies. At least for my publicity. After the big news that we were apparently dating at the Democratic National Convention. And she got us better hotel rooms, as you recall. And we were spotted together.
Wait a minute.
If by better hotel rooms you mean hotel rooms 35 miles away, yeah, that's it. That was a nice hotel.
Okay,
It was.
I had
Very
never,
nice.
I had never actually met her, but still,
bar.
we were riding that publicity.
Yeah.
Cute bartender.
For months.
Anyway.
Oh, pardon me. Hello.
Yeah, not very cute.
And what? Oh, well, from your perspective, I see, yes.
What?
Oh, okay.
And she was named after the city we were in.
Huh. Okay. All right. So that happened.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. It's all right.
They're there.
Okay. She married her girlfriend of nearly a year, Alexandra Hedison, who used to date
Just daughter of
Ellen
David
DeGeneres.
Hedison. David Hedison of Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea and The Fly.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I believe so.
That is like 1 degree of lesbian separation. She was, remember, Ellen DeGeneres' girlfriend for 3 years, and then because I don't leave my house, I'm not sort of in the
lesbian loop.
Right? No, I know. Speaking of which, she was also on the L Word. She's an actress, director, and photographer. Oh, good for them. That's all I have left in my life. Untrue rumors. I was hoping.
There's still Melissa Gilbert.
That's true.
If she would dump Timothy Busfield.
Right. Wait a minute. Oh no, I broke up her previous marriage.
Right.
But only because I was hitting
Right.
on Bruce Boxleitner, according to the National Enquirer.
The National Enquirer was barking up
Wow.
the wrong forest, really.
All right. All I know
Barking
is
at the wrong Busfield.
I am going to have to get some stuff going on at Sexy Liberal Chicago on Saturday. Audra in Minneapolis.
Me and the wife are fired up and ready to go.
Yep.
You betcha we are.
Great.
Getting fired up for Chicago Sexy Liberal. I'm fired up and ready to go, ready to go. Waiting patiently for my meet and grow. I got the VIP meet and grow ticket. With John Fugelsang, Carlos and Stephanie. There's Jim and Chris. Oh my God, I love Jim and Chris. Oh my God. I look to my left, I look to my right. No douchebags in sight.
Oh,
Kate, where are your pants?
Here we go again.
Put your pants back on. Oops, I lost my pants.
Always seems to happen.
That Steph, she's a cutie.
Oh, thank you.
She's totes adorbs. She does have a nice booty.
Thank you.
Check it out for yourself, sexy liberals.
Yeah.
This Saturday in Chicago.
Hooray.
All right, hooray. And Kate does have a tendency, Jim, to lose her pants. It happened after Madison Sexy Liberal. I don't
Really?
don't ask me the rest of the story. Just Kate lost her pants.
And now you know the rest of the story.
Well, we don't know the rest of the story, but you could find out in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, speaking of which, I drunk love texted John Fugelsang last night.
Aw.
Because he was on. What?
No, he sent me the video of his appearance on Hardball, and he said, Steph seemed to like it.
I loved it. I sent him I was a love text. He was fabulous.
Okay.
And then I saw Charlie Pierce on.
Have you read that
Chris
text
Hayes?
this morning to make sure it's what you thought you sent?
Oh, boy.
Check that out. I love you, John. All right, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. Oh my God, Jackie gives a lot of homework.
I know.
There's a lot of things we gotta read.
I don't like her when she subs.
Healthcare stuff. Okay. And as we mentioned, she will not be in studio. Sadly, she licked Bob Costas' eyeball, and now she has a pink eye in both eyes.
Yeah.
I don't think it's how that works.
It sounded good.
No, I saw her spinning the other day. She has pink eye for sure.
Oh.
So she will join us on the phone for a healthcare course.
There's a solution for that. Sunglasses.
There you go. Eric Hankey tweets.
Yeah, but then you look like a douche who vapes.
You just go to douchey clubs. That's what it is.
Eric Hankey tweets, Jodie Foster got married and Charlie Pierce was seen with Chris Hayes last night. Poor Steph.
Yep.
I know.
Aw.
Yes, I did give Travis a drunken Twitter order.
Yeah.
Tweet about how great John Fugelsang and Charlie Pierce were. Thud. And scene. But they were.
I love that email I got from John overnight. Here's the video of me on Hardball last night. I think Steph liked it.
Oh, he knows I liked it. I sent him a sloppy text.
So you can find that at your Facebook page.
There you go. Do it. Check it out. They're both great. Mama's babies. Okay. By the way, I've moved on from Jodie Foster. I'm over it. You know why?
Why?
I'm back to wanting to marry George Clooney. So there.
Okay, this is awesome.
This is an awesome story. Did you hear about this? Steve Wynn. Doesn't he look... Why do all casino magnates look the same?
Yeah.
He has that Sheldon Adelson-y...
It seems like
skeevy.
The more north you go on the strip, the douchier the casino owners are, because the Wynn and Encore and the Palazzo and the Venetian are all kind of on the northern end of the strip.
Who would have thought you would not find class in Las Vegas, John?
Yeah.
I am shocked.
I prefer the southern end of the strip.
Okay, all right. Wynn said Clooney got drunk. So far, love him even more.
Okay.
From down in tequila shots and stormed off after delivering an F-bomb. The two-time Oscar winner issued the following statement in an email. He said there were 9 people at that table, so you can ask them. Steve likes to go on rants. He called the president a pole.
Oh,
that is a fact. I said the president was my longtime friend, and he said your friend is a pole. See? Thank you, John Roberts. Really, racism and disrespect for the president is completely it's over with now.
Did he give a reason?
I don't know. At that point, I told Steve he was the pole, and I wasn't going to sit at his table while he was being such a jackass. And I walked out. There were obviously quite a few more adjectives and adverbs used by both of us. Those are all the facts. It has nothing to do with politics and everything to do with character. Thank you, George Clooney. Yeah, when did it become okay to just call the president names like that? It's and then Steve Wynn. Classy with a K to the end. He said of George Clooney, when he's drinking, he considers himself a close personal buddy of the president. He is a close friend of the president.
Yes.
He got up and said, I don't have to listen to this stuff. The only person who got excited at the table was George, and he ran off to another bar. Clooney's fun to be with when he's sober. If you have a chance to drink with him, you want to get there early and don't stay late.
Oh
Whatever.
my God.
Whatever. I think you'd have to be drunk to talk to Steve Wynn.
I think that also might be a tiny bit true about George Clooney. I've gotten that impression.
Don't you talk about my man like that.
He may be your husband, but he my man.
Jim has stayed late with me when I'm drinking, and I just get sloppier.
Yeah, you do.
But more loving, right, Jim?
We've had to carry you upstairs
I just
times.
get right up in your grill. Just, Jim, you're so great.
She invades personal space.
We'll ask John Fugelsang in an hour about my loving drunk text.
Well, you tried to make out what you did make out with both Travis and my friend Jeff.
Right. I don't. Wow.
That was before Travis even worked for us.
Oh, we'll see. Whew, I was just thinking, sexual harassment lawsuit.
No, that was before he worked.
Oh, right. Just remember that, Travis.
It was before you worked here.
And I got no money left, so whatever.
Can't get blood from a stone.
There you go. Leonard in Milwaukee, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Leonard.
How you doing?
Good.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to call, and I'm going to try to earn this title. I hope I can get it as the official Negro or the Stephanie Miller.
Oh, thank God someone has called to speak on
I say that
behalf.
because it's, I was born in 1963 in Mississippi. It's actually on my birth certificate.
Wow.
And I wanted to speak about this Bud Clive or whatever this guy is.
Cliven Bundy.
Cliven Bundy.
Yes.
Sounds like the Love and Marriage show. I wanted to talk about this guy because, that racism part, I view racism as a tool of the oligarchy to suppress those that are, impoverished. It's designed to separate us, and the way it does it is by constant putting in fear and doubt and shame, and that's all he brought up was a fear, and it just negates everything that he's supposed to be standing for when he has to join himself to these kind of foolish acts of talking of racism. I don't necessarily blame him for it. It's because he's been impounded on it for so long.
Right.
He's taught this way, and to say that it's okay for him to treat people this way without knowing that racism. And I remember in Mississippi because I'm from Cleveland, Mississippi, and there's a railroad track in between there. And even though the Klan was considered so bad for blacks, they were also equally as hard for whites, because you could get your job taken from you, or you could get killed or house burned out if you were a white man shaking hands with a black man.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
It was equally as horrible, and for them to forget how foolish racism is.
Well, I don't even know. I'm not even sure if it's his. Thank you for calling, honey. Racism or hypocrisy that's worse. It's like, really? That is lost on you that you're talking about black people living off the government when you've been
freeloading
on government
ages.
land for 2 years,
right?
And you don't see that you have no standing. I guess not. Senator Dean Heller, Republican of Nevada, condemned the remarks, and Texas gubernatorial candidate Greg Abbott backed away from Bundy yesterday.
Slowly away.
Yes. I guess Ted
From the powder keg.
Ted Nugent's still okay.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And Ted Bundy.
That's too much, right? Ted Bundy's fine. Senator Rand Paul's office said Paul was unavailable for comment. It's at the lunch counter, I guess.
He was combing the gerbil on his head.
Right. All right. Oh, I know what I was thinking. He sounds like a combination of Cliff Clavin and Al Bundy. That's what I was thinking. Right.
Yeah, 30% of all cattle ranches, they're... Never.
Right. All right. And then the other story we were talking about. Trump attacks President Obama for his unpresidential walk. Once again, just have to show that picture.
I wish someone had been there with a can of hairspray to freeze that forever.
Just like that. Like something about Mary.
It's good. Yeah, great look for you. Yeah, love it.
He tweeted, the way President Obama runs down the stairs of Air Force One, bobbing. Right.
Bobbing and weaving?
At first I thought he meant like hope and change, but then he meant hopping and bobbing. He just spelled it. And jumping all the way is so inelegant and so unpresidential.
But if he'd walked too slowly, he said he was lazy and shiftless.
Right, of course. Or shucking and jiving down the stairs. Yeah, one of the, Someone tweeted, real Donald Trump, and your hair blowing awkwardly in the wind would look so much better. Real Donald Trump, how can we trust you to be the next leader of the free world if you can't spell hopping correctly?
Yeah.
The Donald later deleted the tweet and replaced it with a version with corrected spelling. So he stands by his comments.
Right.
He just apologizes.
Doesn't he have other things to do rather than sit on Twitter all day?
I mean, this
the
is
answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
This is how ridiculous it's gotten that you can't, tell the difference between the Onion and... You're like, really? The way he walks off Air Force One is wrong now. Is this a joke? I mean, we've been joking about, you think... Remember when Michelle Obama was telling people to drink more water?
Right.
You're like, sure enough, Rush Limbaugh... if she says, I like to breathe air, the next day, it's like, there would be an anti-air. You can't make us...
You can't force people to breathe air. Who do you think you are?
He did actually go on a rant
about water.
What do you just drink when you're thirsty? What do you, don't tell me to hydrate water. So now walking.
Someday that's actually going to happen.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Walking, drinking water, all controversial in the Obama White House. All right. Oh, yes. And then I was saying, noted douche nozzle Ted Cruz.
Yes.
Of course, defended Cliven Bundy.
The details of the Bundy matter may be complicated, but I think the reason that this issue is resonating, it's resonating in Nevada and Texas and resonating across the country, is that for 5 years we have seen our liberty under assault. We have seen, sadly, our constitutional liberties eroded under the Obama administration. And I think it is in that context that people are viewing this battle with the federal government.
They were eroded by the Patriot Act.
The unfortunate and tragic culmination of the path that President Obama has set the federal government upon.
Right. No, I think people think he's a racist douchebag.
Yeah.
That's been
sponging off the government
for years. Oh, by the way, you know where he said that, Chris?
Where?
On the Texas radio host Chad Hasty's show.
Ooh, Chad Hasty.
Good morning, everybody. It's the Chad Hasty Show.
Chad Hasty? Mm-hmm. As in pudding?
Right.
Okay.
Right. I don't know if that's
He didn't plan this radio show very well. Just kind of hasty. He just kind of threw it all together.
I don't do show prep.
I don't know.
I'm Chad Hasty. Is that just his radio name? I'm sensing their slide whistle. I'm just guessing. Morning, everybody. I'm Chad.
Our guest today, Brad Pasty.
It's the Chad Hasty Show. Wow.
Speaking of that, for the first time, I watched your WCKG 1989 video all the way through yesterday.
Yeah,
wow.
No.
Wow.
How drunk were you?
I'm going back to the scene of the crime.
That was a little pukey.
I'm going back to Chicago to the scene of the crime Saturday.
You were a little pukey.
I was a morning radio DJ.
And that was the old nose.
It's Miller and Howell in the morning.
WCKG
105.9 FM. More music in the morning.
You had the cutest chubby little cheeks. Just wanted to pinch them.
Don't bring up my body issues.
Oh, God.
All I remember, it was like the longest tagline, clunkiest tagline ever, and we had to say it out of every song every morning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good morning, everybody. It's Miller and Howell in the morning with the most music in the morning on 105.9.
Oh, God.
I was like, really?
You can't
every
say
single
that
time.
breath.
No, you cannot.
And you did use the Doobie Brothers line.
They ain't related, but they
Doobie Brothers.
Hi.
I don't know where I found that. I think I found it on your Twitter feed somewhere.
Welcome to the Chad Hasty Show.
My first radio job in Santa Barbara had a real puker on there. I'm not going to say his name.
Okay, all right.
He's like normal when he's talking, when he's off air, but then...
Remember our traffic reporter we used to have?
Oh, yeah.
It sounded like he wanted to give him a Kleenex.
Yeah.
The travel company. This is what's happening on the 405. There's a lot of congestion on the 405.
I wanted to do what my dad used
And
to
on
do.
the 5.
Stick out like a cloth hanky.
And the 170.
Blow. There's more congestion
The
here.
118 isn't quite as congested.
It did sound like
The
that.
405 isn't as congested as your nose. Here, blow. Just blow. All right, 45 minutes after the hour, right back on the Stephanie Miller Show. It is the Stephanie Miller Show, 51 minutes after the hour. I always love watching Natan run the dog obstacle course to get back to his,
back to his
cameras
post.
over there. He just... And the 10 seconds of sports talk he and Jim have every morning before the show starts.
Yes.
Soccer talk. Welcome to Soccer Talk. Okay, that's enough.
Bayern München against Real Madrid.
Right. You know, the thing happened with the guy, the sports guy.
Yeah,
The
that
big-
sports team sports the hell out of that other sports team.
Some other thing happened with that guy, right? Which was very
Sports
controversial.
the sports out of him.
Okay. Speaking of controversial, wow. New Georgia gun law will allow guns in schools, churches, and courtrooms. What could possibly go wrong? And bars. What could go wrong? Georgia Governor Nathan Deal.
Yep.
This is a bad deal. Signed a new gun law that, among other things, will allow Georgians to legally carry firearms into churches, schools, airport common areas, bars, courtrooms, and government buildings. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, the Safe Carry Protection Act.
How does that make anything safe?
Will prevent the state from keeping a database of licensed gun owners and eliminate the fingerprint requirement for renewing weapons carry licenses.
Fantastic.
It also, but wait, there's more. It will also allow felons to use the state's stand your ground defense to shoot someone to death. Let's see. But wait. Also more. Oh, Governor Deal said there's always opportunities for people to use any piece of legislation as a political tool if they don't like it. You should know as a political tool of the NRA. Wow.
Well, as long as they just shoot other Nimrods like themselves.
Yeah. Gun owners in Georgia will be allowed to bring their firearms into a bar unless the owner asks them to leave, at which point I'm sure they will shoot the owner.
Yeah.
Sure.
In a drunken rage.
You know, if you can't...
Yeah. Alcohol does not lead one to make good decisions.
Right. Yeah, that's not a recipe for anything.
No.
Sure, you can bring it in until you get too drunk and the owner kicks you out.
Then
what could possibly go wrong? Licensed gun holders will be able to carry their firearms into churches. Gun owners will be able to carry their weapons into government buildings and courtrooms, including those where there's no security.
I don't like your sermon.
What's that now? You don't like me sentencing you to prison? In this courtroom with no security?
Can I take my gun into prison?
Wow.
This is horrifying.
Yeah. Local school boards will be allowed to vote to let school faculty bring guns into school. If a teacher doesn't want to carry the gun at all times,
I think
he or she will have to store it in a safe or lockbox. Oh, well, that's...
Oh, well.
Yeah, that's...
As long as it's in a lockbox.
Right, along with Social Security.
I think we should allow Georgia to secede.
Yes.
Just put a big wall around it.
Or Sec D.
Right.
And if killing animals with a gun in the state of Georgia is just too loud for you, good news. Under the new law, you'll be able to use
a silencer?
a silencer while hunting.
That makes it all better.
Yes.
It's hunting without all that pesky noise.
My delicate ears can't stand the noise.
You can sneak up on more of them. Okay. Governor Deal.
I will put into law a gun bill that heralds self-defense, personal liberties, and public safety.
Public safety.
It's all about public safety. Well, who can't see that?
Oh, God.
Wow. Okay, Georgia State Representative, he was the gun bill
Rick Jespers.
Right.
And when we limit Georgians' ability to carry a weapon, to defend themselves, we're empowering the bad guys.
Oh, we're empowering the bad guys. I see. You mean like the felons that can now use the stand your ground law? That's great. Yeah. That's perfect. That's great. Okay, Dan Gross from the Brady campaign.
And to do it in the name of safety, it's tragic.
Yeah.
It's like all those Bush administration, the friendly forest bills and the clean skies. And all the things that were, exact opposite. Mm-hmm. So that there, ladies and gentlemen, is the what's called the gun safety bill.
Gun safety law now.
Gun safety law of Georgia.
Mm-hmm. Well, the guns are safe.
Doggy.
It's the people that are in trouble.
Wow. Will in Florida, you're on the Stephanie Miller Show. Hi, Will.
Hi, good morning. I have a comment about the foolish law that's just been signed by Governor Deal in Georgia.
Yeah, people should call and say, hey, what's the deal? This is a bad law. Right.
I think the best way the sane citizens in the state of Georgia can fight back against that is just stop going out at night. Stay home. The right-wing idiots don't understand a whole lot there, but they will understand when businesses start closing up because people aren't patronizing the businesses and things like that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I was thinking that today. I thought I actually, all kidding aside, I wouldn't feel safe in Georgia.
Who in their right mind would go to a bar in Georgia now?
I know.
Are we going to cancel our Sexy Liberal Atlanta show?
Do we have one planned?
I don't know.
Remember. Oh, by the way, speaking of which, a lot of people, trying to entice us to come for Sexy Liberal.
Okay.
Let's see. You remember we had an offer from Don up in San Jose.
Yeah.
Steph forgot to mention all the perks to be had on the way to the San Jose on the Arc of Sexy Liberality.
All right.
He's willing to pick us up and drive us. As a steerage passenger, the mook with the short straw, whoever all y'all gets that, will be gently suspended in the truck bed with ratcheting tie-down straps, and therefore limb motion may be restricted.
Right.
In coach, the lucky mook will have the honor of being sandwiched between Fred and Max and will be required to hold and distribute the 50-pound bag of Costco pig ears. No drool involved there. For you in first class, typically referred to as shotgun, you'll have the ability to control your own window, and as a proxy for Chris, push any of the buttons on the dashboard. Your beverage service. For beverage service, I will transfer some of my homemade vintage 2012 apricot plum wine to a box with 3 straws. First class gets a bendy straw.
Oh, that sounds really sweet.
Wine Spectator rated my wine at 12 points out of 100, saying, yes, technically this is wine. To which I'm very proud. To sweeten the deal, I've made you all personalized mixtapes. For Voice DD Jim, I've included Helen Reddy's I Am Woman and Crackco's Mr. Cardboard 2 by American Comedy Network. For Chris, I've included Billy Don't Be a Hero by Paper Lace and Carl Douglas Kung Fu Fighting. For you, Steph, I've included I Want to Be Sedated by the Ramones and Bottle of Wine, Fruit of the Vine by the Fireballs. Your nagging Northern California friend. That is hard to turn down. You're sexy local. All right. Speaking of which, John Fugelsang coming up on the Stephanie Miller Show.